Alright people, let's discuss creatine. It's omnipresent in the fitness industry. Bodybuilders swear by it. Athletes utilize it to increase performance. Creatine has a critical function in energy synthesis during high-intensity exercises. Think weightlifting, running, explosive motions. It's like a reserve tank of power for your muscles. When you need that additional push, creatine kicks in to help you go harder and longer. But what happens when you stop using this famous supplement? Let's lay down what occurs when you eliminate the creatine, and how it impacts your body and mind. To grasp what occurs when you stop taking creatine, we need to understand how it works. In the first place, imagine your muscles as automobiles. They require fuel to operate correctly. That fuel is ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Now creatine comes into action by enhancing the storage of phosphocreatine in your muscles. Phosphocreatine is like a readily accessible reservoir of ATP. When you're pushing your boundaries during a workout, your body dips into this reserve to restore ATP swiftly. This helps you to exercise harder and recover quicker. But what happens when you stop supplementing with creatine? Your body's natural creatine supplies start to diminish. Your muscles won't have that immediately accessible reservoir of energy. This doesn't imply you'll suddenly become feeble overnight. It only means your body has to learn to depend completely on its own creatine synthesis. So you've chosen to take a vacation from creatine. The good news is, for most individuals, discontinuing creatine doesn't create any dramatic instant adverse effects. You won't suddenly lose all your gains or feel entirely depleted. However, you could notice some slight alterations. One usual finding is a modest drop in water weight. Creatine pulls water into your muscles, making them seem fuller. When you stop taking it, your body releases part of the water, which might lead to a minor drop in weight and muscular fullness. Don't worry, this is normal and not a symptom of muscle loss. Another thing you can encounter is a modest decline in exercise performance. Without that added push, you could find yourself becoming exhausted a little sooner or not being able to lift as much. This doesn't imply you're growing weaker. With constant exercise and adequate diet, you may keep your strength and performance levels even without supplemental supplements. Now let's speak about the long-term implications of discontinuing creatine. The good news is, for most healthy persons, there are no substantial long-term harmful consequences connected with quitting creatine consumption. Your body will just recover to its usual creatine levels over time. Remember, creatine is a naturally occurring chemical. Your body makes it, and you receive some from your food. So quitting supplementation doesn't imply you're fully depriving your body of creatine. However, some people could suffer a slower recovery rate after workouts without that additional boost. Your muscles might take a little longer to recover from intensive exercise. To offset this, ensuring you're ingesting enough protein and getting appropriate rest. Another long-term impact you can face is a progressive loss in muscle size and fullness. This is mostly due to the decrease in water weight. We explained before, with constant exercise and adequate diet, you can retain your muscle mass even without any supplements. One of the most visible effects is a probable loss in muscle size and fullness. This is mostly related to the decrease in water weight. Creatine operates like a sponge, pulling water into your muscle cells. When you quit taking creatine, your muscles store less water, leading to a drop in that inflated look. This impact is more prominent in those who were taking greater amounts of creatine. Now, it's vital to recognize that this doesn't always translate to muscle loss. However, some people could see a little loss in strength, particularly in activities that depend largely on creatine phosphate energy sources. Without that immediately accessible energy reserve, you can find yourself fatiguing sooner or not being able to lift as heavy. This doesn't imply you're growing weaker. It only means your body has to learn to depend completely on its natural energy sources. While most talks regarding creatine center around its physical effects, it's vital to highlight its possible influence on cognitive function and mood. Some research show that creatine supplementation could increase cognitive ability, particularly in activities demanding working memory and mental processing speed. When you stop using creatine, you could suffer slight alterations in your cognitive performance. Some people report feeling somewhat less concentrated or intellectually sharp. This might be related to creatine's function in brain energy metabolism. Creatine helps guarantee a consistent flow of energy to the brain, which is necessary for good cognitive performance. When you stop supplementing, your brain has to acclimate to depend only on its natural energy generation system. In terms of mood, some people report feeling somewhat more irritated or having modest mood changes after quitting creatine usage. While additional study is required to understand the relationship between creatine supplementation could enhance dopamine levels in some brain areas. So, you've chosen to quit taking creatine. What now? While there are no hard dietary limitations after discontinuing creatine, adopting a few tweaks may help your body's natural energy generation and muscle healing processes. Firstly, emphasize protein intake. Protein is necessary for muscle repair and development, particularly after exercises. Aim to ingest roughly 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight daily. Good sources of protein include lean meats, poultry, fish, eggs, dairy products, beans, lentils, and tofu. Secondly, ensuring you're ingesting a suitable quantity of carbs. Carbohydrates are your body's principal energy source. Aim to have a balanced diet of complex carbs such as whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and legumes. Thirdly, don't disregard good fats. Include sources of healthy fats in your diet such as avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil, and fatty seafood. When you quit using creatine, you may need to make modest alterations to your workout regimen to match your body's natural energy production capabilities. One technique is to gently lessen the weight you're lifting or the intensity of your exercises. This doesn't imply you have to significantly modify your whole routine. It's about listening to your body and adapting appropriately. For example, suppose you were performing 3 sets of 10 repetitions with a certain weight while on creatine. You could want to cut it to 3 sets of 8 repetitions or lessen the weight somewhat after you stop supplementing. Another way is to add extra rest days into your training regimen. Rest is vital for muscle repair and development, regardless of whether you're taking creatine or not. When you're not supplementing with creatine, your body could require a little extra time to recuperate from strenuous exercises. Instead of exercising every day, try taking a break day or 2 between sessions. This offers your muscles adequate time to recover and renew, limiting overtraining and lowering the chance of injury. Now let's speak about creatine cycling. Creatine cycling entails consuming creatine for a specified time, followed by a period of refraining from it. This approach is typically utilized to reduce possible adverse effects, such as water weight gain or digestive difficulties, and to avoid establishing a tolerance to creatine's effects. A standard creatine cycling strategy is taking 5 grams of creatine monohydrate daily for 8 to 12 weeks, followed by a 4-week vacation time. During the off time, your body's natural creatine levels will gradually return to baseline. The objective behind creatine cycling is to get the advantages of creatine supplements without the possible negatives of long-term usage. However, it's vital to remember that scientific data supporting the usefulness of creatine cycling is minimal. Ultimately, the choice of whether or not to cycle creatine is a personal one based on individual tastes and experiences. Along this path of studying creatine and its effects, one key factor remains paramount: listening to your body. Your body is very sophisticated and continually sends information about its requirements. Paying attention to these cues is crucial for maximizing your health and fitness journey when it comes to creatine. How your body reacts to supplementation and withdrawal might vary dependent on individual variables like genetics, exercise intensity, food, and general health state. Therefore, it's crucial to handle creatine supplementation with a careful and individualized strategy. Start by understanding your objectives. Are you wanting to boost sports performance, increase muscular growth, or improve cognitive function? Consult with healthcare specialists or registered dietitians to see whether creatine supplementation corresponds with your entire health and fitness strategy. Creatine stands as a tribute to scientific study, athletic pursuit, and the complicated workings of the human body. Its capacity to increase athletic performance, stimulate muscular development, and perhaps alter cognitive function has secured its status as a staple supplement for athletes, fitness enthusiasts, and anyone looking to enhance their physical and mental capacities. While the decision to incorporate creatine into one's regimen is deeply personal, understanding its mechanisms, benefits, and potential drawbacks empowers individuals to make informed choices that align with their health and fitness aspirations by embracing a holistic approach that encompasses balanced nutrition, regular exercise, adequate rest, and mindful supplementation. Individuals may uncover their inner potential and begin on a path of everlasting health and energy. Remember, knowledge is power, so be interested, stay educated, and keep working for a healthier, stronger self. Looking for high-quality supplements backed by Dr. Andrew Huberman himself? Check out the links in the description below and subscribe and hit the bell icon if you've learned anything new or anything of value.